First thing you hear in the last stream of the year? Big drink of water. Hey, listen, it was bound to happen. We're at 70% water. We're 75% water. We're 90% water. A human being is 100% water, and you're gonna get mad at me for having a little sip? I was thirsty. I had a little swig. What of it? Hello. Um, so, you know, so it's 8:30 a.m. for me. I schedule it for 8:30 a.m. Let me tell you, nothing will throw off a Chimmaney schedule sooner than scheduling a stream for a normal-ass morning time. I've been waking up at normal morning times, and then it's yesterday right now. Today is yesterday, and when it was yesterday, today, right now, it's yesterday. I'm like, oh, I can. You know what? Let me just finish off this little thing for work. Let me just finish this thing off real quick for one of my jobs, and then now it's like 4 a.m. The stream scheduled for 8:30, and also now I'm like not tired, and so I won't be able to sleep. And I get like 1 hour of sleep, but it's okay. I set like alarms so that I'd be here for the stream, but I guess I slept through them because I woke up to an alarm at 8:20. So like I guess that was like my final barrier. Because I presumably turned off the other alarms. Anyway, this was supposed to be on full battery, and it's a Chimney stream, so I'm not going to be on full battery. 8:30 a.m. is crazy early for internet stuff, you thinks, Soviet girl? You're normally at work by this point? Well, it is a Saturday for me. But also, my work isn't really, like, bound to the week. It's kind of every day, bro. You know that one from, like, 2018? I heard that guy lost a fight recently. Anyway, the fact that you're speaking and reacting to what I'm saying means I'm probably live with my microphone on. I'm gonna make sure anyway. Because the one time I didn't make sure, my microphone was muted. The fact that you're speaking. Yep. Yeah, so, yes, and now I'm just seeing when it started. First thing you hear in the last. Yeah. Yeah. Alright, so, this is the 25th live stream of the year. I succeeded. That's outdated. That's the correct one. So I have two versions of this, one with a background and then one without the background. The one without the background hasn't been updated as the streams go on, but this one, 25 live streams in the year. We've done it. Well, we've officially done it, you know, with this 4-minute long live stream. So all that's left now, after this stream, because again, this is only going to be 4 minutes. Oh, we've already, it's, on my screen it's 4:04, so I think I got to get out of here now. No, but after this stream, the only thing left to do is the New Year's stream. So that's going to be fun. There's a lot to talk about there. And yeah, well, we'll talk about all that there. But that's gonna be fun. I have plans. I need to like set things up for it. And yeah, and I hope I hope I have the time to do it, because it's not unheard of for me to be like, oh, I want to set things up for this thing, and then suddenly there's no time. So we'll see. Which, I mean, maybe that's part of what also gets talked about. Last New Year's stream was pretty fun. Only pretty fun, Sovico? Not like, oh, it was really fun. Oh, it was great. It was pretty fun, I guess. Sorry, I'm being, like, picky, I suppose. Okay, now, as much as there are things to talk about in the New Year's stream, there's also things to talk about now. People may know, if you've been here for a bit, you may know that I'm not really heavily time invested into drawing. It's not something I've really spent a lot of time doing. However, I did draw something kind of recently, and so while I do this stream intro, let's add source here, and here we can just have this on screen while I do the stream intro, and then it's like now I can get away with having 5 more minutes. This was, if you saw this little 7-second video, this was just an idea I had like a while ago, and I thought it'd be funny, and it kind of works, and I think the greedy alien wants to be let out. Greedy alien's going for a trot. Now, so some of you who know that I'm not very time invested into drawing, you might know it from the last time we worked on this channel banner, last year. The idea after that stream was I would chip away at it over time and just like slowly work on it. And if you like were looking at my channel, you'd see it get, you know, slowly get better, and slowly, like, as I add things to it. I haven't worked on it at all since the last stream, even though that was the original concept. Which, you know, you might be glad about, because you might be like, well, hang on, Chimmaney, where are your priorities at? If I was working on that all the time, with not many videos this year, unfortunately. But wouldn't it have been awesome if I did a bunch of videos and did a bunch of work on the channel banner? But it's alright, now it can just be a thing we do like once a year on stream until it's complete. And so we're doing extra today as well. Also, just looking at like the speed paint, I got really, I did it all in like layers, as you can see. So like the back arm, I drew like the shoulder connection, and then I drew the torso layer separately. Like I think I did it very the way I'm doing like Pokemon Black sprites. You know? Like this Santa's ready to be animated and like have all his parts rotate. But yes, so we are going to be working on the channel banner. So okay, basic plan. I don't know, I don't have that much more to talk about, but you know, we need to wait for the speed paint to be done. Is this stream today? We're just gonna hang out and we're gonna see what happens in the drawing thing. This stream was going to be something else for the 25th stream, but I think the thing it was going to be, I was like, actually, I kind of want to take like a long time setting that up to make that sick, and so I'll do that another time. And then I'm hoping, listen, I've had a video that was supposed to be done in November. It's a short one, and I think I can get it done like tonight, depending on how much time I have and how long I sleep, if and when I go back to sleep. And then the New Year's stream, yeah. And also there's like another really short video that hopefully I can get done too. But I think I'm done promising video deadlines on stream. I think I'm in like the naughty corner, speaking of like Father Christmas. Also, by the way, that video is titled Mall Santas, which is funny because, like, if you're asking me, I would say, like, shopping center Father Christmas instead of mall Santa, you know? Like, oh, it's a shopping center Father Christmas. I wouldn't say shopping center Father Christmas, but I would say shopping center not mall, and Father Christmas not Santa. So, which is, I think shopping center Father Christmas sounds like, oh, shut up, man, you know? Like, come on, you don't talk like that, but I do. uh, yeah, I think I'm done, like, I'm in the naughty corner right now. I need to have a few video deadlines that I'd, like, knock out of the park, and it's like, oh yeah, I was done a week early. Oh, Speed Paint's done. Uh, I was done, like, a week early, and then I can start estimating things on stream again. But hey, listen, for as few videos as there have been this year, unfortunately, these streams I think have been really good. And 25 is a damn lot for me. You know, other people might be doing it, you know, every day, bro, as it were. But on my schedule, this is a hell of a lot of streams. I'm actually surprised at how close we're cutting it. I mean, it's the 27th for me. It would be the 26th for a lot of you. Oh, by the way, happy holidays, Merry Christmas if you celebrate. Yeah, that was probably like yesterday for a lot of you. For me, it was the 20th. My family did it early this year because one of us went overseas for like a little holiday. So for me, Christmas was like I was walking through the streets, and like Christmas decorations were up, and it was like, oh, they don't know I already celebrated Christmas, you know? It's weird, you walk past a place and it's like, oh, there's probably like a kid in there who's like excited to open presents, and I've already moved on. There's probably like a stressed out person in that building who's like, oh, I need to run to the shops and buy something. I only got like 2 days left, and it's finished for me, and I'm past it. Happy holidays. You should have got me a drawing or something. There's no expectation. You don't need to get me anything. Actually, wait. I retract that. I rescind that. If I come up with something cool that you need to get me, then you need to get me that. If I come up with, like, what's something cool you could get me? I mean, drawings are cool, but, you know, I'm talking, like, something... I'm talking something with, like, more of a, like, negative impact on your life that I could be like, oh, but it's okay. Right? Like, can you, like... I don't know, I was gonna say, like, build a house. But I don't know if I would trust a house built with spite, right? Like, would you want to live in a house that was built by someone who, like, had to build you a house and, like, wasn't paid? And also, you said you're still recovering from the brain surgery. I didn't know you had a brain surgery. I really hope your recovery goes super well. I know you had a little one on your left eye a few months ago. But I hope you recover from that one as well. I'm sorry that it's been kind of a rough couple of years for you, Soviet girl. It's really... I respect a lot how bright and positive your attitude is, and you seem like a very robust person. Which is exactly why I think you could manage to build me a house if you just put your heart in it. And it kind of pisses me off that you haven't already started drafting up the blueprints. Is it blueprints when it's a house? Or is it only blueprints when it's like a weapon of war? Don't draft up a weapon of war, because I know you're going to use it on me as soon as it's built, okay? You're going to do the Iron Man in the cave thing, where I'm going to walk in and be like, oh, yeah, you need these parts for your house? Is that it? You need this explosive missile tip for your house and this jet fuel? Okay, you're not building a flamethrower, are you? You're not building a flamethrower and having a rocket in your suit of armor? No? It's for the house. Okay. Okay. Alright, I'll get you what you need. Let me take a look at those blueprints. Yeah, this adds up. Okay, yeah, I'll get you what you need. That's why you were absent from comments for like 2 months? To be fair, I think I was absent from uploads for like 4 months. Yeah, I realized I was doing... We'll swap over to the channel banner in a sec to actually work on it. I realized I was doing it completely wrong last stream and beyond. Like, in like so many different ways, but we'll do that when we get there. Anyway, 25 live streams. I like them. It's a lot of streams, and I feel like they were also... Well, again, that's probably more a topic for the New Year's to get in-depth on. Though I'm not sure how much depth there is to get in on, other than they were good and I liked them. And, yeah. I mean, that's really it, right? I liked them. They were funny. And I think I learned a lot. And I think, you know, you go back and watch them. Okay, maybe I shouldn't be saying this. Some live streamers, I look at, and it's just like... You know what, I shouldn't be saying that. Never mind. Some people could put a little more effort in, I think. Into, like, having been a little more high energy when they stream. I don't know. Well, you know what? Remember the speed paint? I remember it. In fact, I remember it so well that I'm finished with it. Here is the channel banner, where we left it off. So one thing I was doing last time, which is, looking back on it, ridiculous, but I didn't know any better. I didn't know what I was doing. I was just a young guy. I was trying to draw... Where is it? Well, those are... Hold on. Oh yeah. So I was trying to draw a lantern, right? And I did like a bunch of different versions for it. These layers aren't named, so it's... Okay, got it. And each time I was redrawing the lantern, right? And it was getting like a little better each time. But for some reason, like, that's not what the proper method should be. It shouldn't be... Hold on, let me... Whoop. That's not a good sound to hear when I'm pulling out this drawing tablet and trying to put it in place on my desk. Okay, I got it. Like, the method should absolutely not be... Okay, let me, like, get drawing. Okay, well, hold on. It doesn't work if I'm not even bothering. Okay, okay, let me draw this. Oh, that's not quite right. Let me do a new layer and draw it, like, again. No, what I should be doing is, like, okay, let me, like, thicken up the line here, and let me, like, erase it a little. You know, let me, like, get it up. Oh, yeah, let me... I don't know what the hell I just did. I do know, but I don't know how it ended up in that position. Like, you're supposed to be, like, editing it as you go, not completely restarting it and calling, oh, we're doing a Lantern V3. Oh, we're doing Lantern V4 now. Oh, we'll fix that in Lantern V5. What am I talking about? Especially when you, like, look at this. All of these different lanterns. Was my plan, like, draw one lantern and then, like, copy-paste it on a different colored balloon? I understand that's kind of what happened here, like, this is a copy-pasted lantern in this original one from ages ago that I want to replace. But, like, surely I should just be drawing each of these individually as, like, a... Okay, let me, like, draw the lantern, and then, like, editing these lines. Not, like, hiding them and restarting them all, you know? So that's something we learned. Yeah, I was doing it all wrong. But you know what? I figured that out a shocking amount of time after the live stream. I was just, like, walking around with the greedy alien, and I was like, hang on. Wait a second. I think I messed up. Now, so basically that also, it's cool because it means, and you know, hey, look, learning from the speed paint, remember that? Hold on, let me just remind you real quick of the speed paint. You can see my method was kind of like draw a loose idea of what I want, and then draw the real thing just like on top of it, right? And then edit it as I go. But, and also you could tell I think I'm a pretty patient person, but I also have to, like, value the thing I'm waiting for. You can tell here, I was just like, this is just for, like, a funny little video. Whatever I draw first, I just, you know, like, I didn't deviate from the sketch much. I was kind of, like, just the original idea, I was also supposed to be being dragged back by, like, 4 different people. The security guard and the person yelling were going to be, like, much more detailed. But I was like, nah. Don't gotta worry about that. So I think that's gonna be the approach here too. Is like, hey, look, we have this colorful sketch. We can just use it as a guideline and draw the real thing, like, on top of it. And we don't have to worry too much about, you know, getting it right the first time, because you can just erase and change the lines. I don't know what I was thinking. And we can also, what was the other thing I said? Yeah, I guess just we can also, like, not worry too much about spending time getting it perfect. And you say your goat is an artist? I appreciate that. But I also think, you know, listen, I'm not going to claim I'm, like, good at drawing. I can be decent if I have, like, a good reference. But, like, I've drawn, like, a really sick hand in a video before. Which video was that? In one of the Chimmaney talking videos, there was a great hand. And that was just because I could hold up my left hand and look at the back of it while I drew with my right. I didn't pull up, like, a Father Christmas reference picture. So I can be alright with a reference, but I think, you know, I think the amount of time I'm willing to invest into a drawing, it's kind of like watering down proper people who are great at drawing by suggesting that I am. I know I'm just kind of, I think I'm good enough to get the point across, which is good enough for me. And yeah, the lanterns for you candle makers. And you wanted to do a redraw of that channel banner, the original one, I guess you mean. But if you do that, you defeat the purpose of the Chim drawing stream. Well, don't let me, like, if it's something you want to do, don't let me stifle your creativity. It probably, unlike the amazing image you did that ended up as the profile picture, it probably wouldn't become the channel banner. But if you wanted to do it for, like, fun, then, you know, again, don't let me stop you. But, you know, you could also, if there's something you'd have fun doing that you feel is, like, more individual, because, you know, obviously I'm also kind of doing something similar to that, then go for it as well. You are not obligated to do anything except build me that house, and I see those blueprints. Are you, Sophia, are you sure you need, like, rocket fuel for building the house? Is that... Oh, it's for the oven. It's for the oven, isn't it? Okay, no, I get it. You're using that as like you're gonna use the fumes for the gas, for like the stove and everything. Okay, yeah, no, that makes sense. I'll get you your rocket fuel, Soviet girl. Okay. So yeah, we can just draw over this. The enriched uranium and rocket fuel are crucial. What's the enriched uranium for? Oh, the radiator. Right. Okay. Okay. Now, one thing I will say. Well, you know what? I've been saying a lot of things, haven't I? How long's it been? 25 minutes? What is this? Oh, yeah. Sorry, I haven't... Again, I was expecting to wake up like 40 minutes before the stream started. I woke up 10 minutes before, and I had to, like, feed a greedy alien and, like, brush my teeth. I'm as lost as you guys are in this Photoshop window. But one thing I do like, I like how colorful it is. Maybe that's something we try to keep as we, like, go through and start drawing each individual building. Like, maybe, can I draw this out of, like, blue bricks, you know? And, like, oh, that's a green building. That's, like, a red building. Purple building. That could be kind of sick. But I think for now, let's just, okay, if I draw black, is that... Yeah, that's very visible. I was just worried, since, like, the kind of darkish background, maybe it wouldn't be. But I think that's very... Well, it's not very... What if I draw in, like, white, and then we turn it black later? I'm just thinking what the best color would be to draw over the sketch. I could also turn the sketch semi-transparent. Maybe I do that. Yeah, I think I do that. Hold on. 60? And then if I... Well, that doesn't really help. It would help for the white. But I think I want to draw in black just so I don't have to go through and turn it all a different color later. But I don't know, if this is going to be like a blue brick thing... Okay, Soviet girl, that's a stretch. You can't hear 60 and think 6-7. That's ridiculous. I didn't even say 67. If you went, oh, 67-6-7, then that's, you know, that tracks, I suppose. But you can't just hear 60 and go... No! That's not how that works at all. Yeah, if I'm going to make this out of blue bricks, maybe I want to do the thing that, you know, some artists do. And I'm trying to emulate them right now. You know, where they... Okay, sorry. Why did that go in there? It's not what I commanded. Where, you know, for example, it would be like this, and then this, or bad color choice, but like that instead of like that on the brick. I actually think that looks better. So, you know what, let's start constructing like this brick chimney out of blue. I just said chimney as chimney. But... Sorry, boss, you work at a school, you've heard it so much. You know, you don't have to dox yourself, and in fact, don't even answer this question. This isn't a question. I'm not asking you. But I just want to say as a comment, Soviet girl, I have no goddamn idea what you do. So you, like, I'm just hearing for the first time you work at a school, but you've also, like, referred to yourself in the past as an engineer, and I know you do programming. So are you, like, a software engineer, like, IT worker at a school? But then you wouldn't have much interaction with the students if you were to, like, be here in 6-7. I got no idea. And again, don't answer. You're not allowed to. You should... Doxing yourself? No. Gotta happen somewhere else. Okay. So what I'm seeing here is I like this, but also the angle is completely wrong. So let me like preserve these colors, and then we'll do it properly. You have 5 jobs. Well, I hope they treat you well, and I hope you still have. Well, I guess you still have time for Chimmaney. So, not as like I'm the most important thing, but like as in, hopefully you do still have time to yourself and your loved ones. Not Chimmaney's not one of them, obviously. But you know, I hope work isn't completely taken over. Okay, so I think 2 bricks wide. Okay, the line's in the wrong place. The down line here, the wrong place. So I think I'm just going to draw the whole thing, and we'll figure out the down line last. See? And I know, by the way, this is one thing I know. Chimmaney is the kind of guy does not watch art tutorials, does not know about that, but occasionally hears artists speak. And I know that one thing they say is like, oh, you should draw a line like this. You shouldn't do it like this in kind of snippets, because that's not how you like build line confidence. And to that I say, you probably know what you're talking about, but also I kind of love the way like that looks. You know, that's exaggerated just so you can tell exactly what it is. But I think that does not look as cool as like that. You know? I think that's like better. Obviously they're not the exact same shape, but you get the point. It's easier to do for me, and I think it looks better. And whoever said I was trying to build line confidence? All I'm trying to build's a house. Also, hello, Jonathan, by the way. Okay, I think that's good. Don't you reckon that's good? It needs to be a bit thicker, perhaps. But imagine that, and then it's like all the way up. Now the question is, and this is a big one, on the next layer, are we thinking 1 brick, or are we thinking like 3 bricks? You know, is this the full brick, or is this the half brick? When I started the question, I was thinking actually 1 brick could surprisingly go hard. But then having this little thing drawn in, maybe 3 bricks is the way to go. But, you know, having these, like, really kind of oversized bricks, is that sick? Is that, like, great? It could be. Hold on. Let's actually, like, get the color in so that we can picture that. So that, yeah, that's just, like, normal chimney. That's, you know, pretty good. And then if it was only 1, is that, like, 2 Minecraft stone brick? Or is that sick? And then, you know, imagine it going around here. So then that would be like that. So what's better? That or like that? Again, I think that's a little too ordinary. I actually kind of think having those big bricks... Is that sick? I think that might be sick. And also, I guess if that sucks, we can always just add these in later. And I think it's the better option anyway. So we should definitely draw that, because I think it's better, and if it's worse, it's so easy to pivot. Okay, so how high up do we go? It's like here, like that. So it's like that, like that. See, and you know, artists be like, oh, you should have just gone like that. Not interested. I'm interested. You know, you don't have to stop talking. I'm interested. But I'm not going to do it. Also, last stream, you got to make rent. Yeah, I mean, that's real. I'm in a similar position. I'm not, you know, probably a less extreme one, but yeah. Most things by commission and then a few in person part time. Well, so long as you know, yeah. I just hope you have time to be a human as well as a worker. But I understand very much the like. Sometimes that's tough. Last art stream a year ago, by the way. I don't know if this was obvious. I think it probably was if you watched it. But I was kind of thinking, like, most of the time, like, damn, I'm never doing another one of these. You know, at the time, the plan was I would work on the channel banner off stream, and in like a week or two, it would be complete. But you know, then that didn't happen. But the whole time I was thinking like, oh man, I'm never gonna draw on a live stream again. Cause I'm like, it's tough. It's tough. But weirdly, I'm finding it not that hard to talk while I'm doing this one. The other one, I feel like I was so focused I like couldn't say anything. Maybe it's because I was drawing the same goddamn lantern over and over. Who knows? It's sad this is the last stream of the year. Well, I'll see you in the new year, Dio. I think for most of you, that stream will actually be maybe before the new year. It'll probably be like 3 a.m. January 1st for me, start time. So actually, I think all of you, that's going to be sometime on the 31st of December. Whoops. Okay, I really hope this blue brick looks sick in like the context of a real drawing. Because I feel like right now it's hard to tell because it's like this could easily just be temporary sketch colors. I hope it's sick. And, you know, I think it's possible that we might have to like fiddle with it and make it like more pale or something. You know? I don't know. But, actually, maybe I'll... That kind of works. Maybe I'll keep that brick that color. Luckily, you know another Australian now, so you can ask her for the time translation. Well, you know, the stream will be scheduled, so you'll be able to... You'll see it in local time. But I won't deny you a little bit of, like, social interaction. Yeah, go for it. Ask away to your other Australian that you know. Also, what if I did something like that? And had like a... Is that sick? Nah. But I want to... Oh, hold on. I was just thinking because I want that color stored somewhere. I have this little palette now. That's my sound, not yours. What is going on? Okay, I got it. Oh, you can't even... Or is that not... Why is that not... Hello? Oh, it's because, look at that. Look at that tiny thing selected. Okay, there we go. And back up the staircase. Like that. By the way, I'm still kind of surprised that I can just schedule a stream like, I don't know, 20 hours in advance. And then like people will be there. I'm still kind of like expecting, oh yeah, people might be there. But I'm also like prepared for it to be talking to myself the whole time. Because there was like a couple of years of that. It's still a little strange to me that like every single stream there's been people for the last, maybe this whole year. Hold on, we can consult. Not with the speed paint, mind you. But with this. Were any of these streams just me? No, none of them. Literally none of them. So all year, there's always been at least someone. And I think actually in all of these, multiple people as well. Pretty cool. Wrong window, there we go. You'll be there as long as you live. Well, I hope that's a long goddamn time, Sir Vigo. And if it unfortunately ends up not being, I hope it's a fun goddamn time. And I also hope that if it's not a, like, if you're like, oh, actually, Chimmaney's washed. Nah, Chimmaney's washed. He used to be good. He's washed now. I liked him before he washed. Then I, feel free to move on. But I'm not washed, by the way. I'm a really unwashed guy. I'm hygienic, but I'm not gonna stop being funny. I'm unwashed. You wish YouTube would prioritize showing you my posts, because sometimes you don't even see an upload. Yeah, Dio, I've been uploading like 3 videos a month this year. I think some people haven't been seeing them. It's weird. I was super active though. I was uploading like all the time. I mean, I uploaded the Arkham Knight video. I uploaded a new Buckwheat Grayson. I uploaded the Tron Bond video, the sequel to No Robots, Less Robots. I uploaded Halo 3, Halo 4. It's been a really busy year. But I think people just haven't been getting served those videos. It's weird. You discovered my Batman videos when you were in a terrible time of your life, and you watched through it instead of doing terrible things. Well, I'm really glad to hear that, Sir Vehicle. I'm also glad to hear was in a terrible time, which hopefully means the worst has passed. If it hasn't yet, things pass. So it probably will. But, yeah, I'm really glad to hear that the Batman videos were able to help. Chimney fell off so hard when he ran over someone in his car right after a beer. Oh yeah, by the way, Deltarune. Talking about that. Which, by the way, yes, I'm aware of that connection. I feel like you would probably suspect I wouldn't be, You'd probably be like, no, Chimmaney doesn't know about, like, the video where Asgore runs over December Holiday, and he's, like, singing, and it's, like, a first-person video, and he, like, smiles and thinks back on, and it's, like, it's from, like, Open Season or something, but it's, like, a traced animation of Asgore smiling, and it's like, oh, yeah, I remember when I ran over December Holiday. And there's the song of, like, driving in my car right after a beer. Hey, that bump looks just like a deer. What is it? It's not like vehicular homicide, but it's like, because it's only 3 syllables. It's like, because it's to the tune of an Undertale song. Is it just homicide? Anyway, yeah, I know about that. listen. So after a lot of my streams, I will like spend like the next day or sometimes even the same day as the stream ended. Look, DUI. Thank you, Jonathan. Yeah, that's it. DUI. It's time that you die. Something says da da da. That one. After a lot of my streams, I will like. I guess I don't know if you'd call it like part of me decompressing, because it's not like I really need to, but it's just something I like to do. Is I will read up a lot about a video game. So, for example, after the Dead Rising stream, I like went to the like Dead Rising wiki and I just like read a bunch of the entries on different characters and events. After the Resident Evil 2 video, I same with that. Dishonored 2 last year, I read up a bunch of stuff, a lot of which I'd known, in the past, but I refreshed myself. And same with Deltarune. That place is crazy, dude. Deltarune. it's a strange community. It's a strange bunch. And they talk about a lot of stuff as if it's like a known thing. And then I'm like looking into it, like what are they referencing here? And it's just like a weird like fringe theory with almost no proof. But everyone like talks about it as if it's just like a part of the games. And it's like I don't know. It's a weird bunch of people. And it was a while ago, but I'm glad to see that you are doing better, Soviet girl. I saw that when you sent the message. Jim Karate kicked a baby through a window. Oh, but he made Black and Bridge. Yeah. I'm expecting that from you guys, by the way. You need to build me a house, and you need to defend me when the haters come. You don't, by the way. If the haters come, let them wash over you like water off a duck's back. And then, like, swim in it. Like a duck would. And then get fed bread like a duck would, and have it expand in your stomach like a duck being fed bread would. And then you can't eat other food, and then you starve because your stomach's full of bloated, inflated water bread. And they fed you bread instead of grapes. And it, like, killed you. So you had a bunch of wild events, like when Screen Rant made an article. Yeah, guys, when the haters at Screen Rant come for me, just swim in it. Okay, is that sick? That's actually kind of sick. As like a foreground element, that like blue brick chimney. That's kind of sick. Damn it. No, it didn't work. Why is that not working? No. Hold on. Guys. Looking back on this year of streams and all the memories we had, you know, remember when we ranked everybody's name by who had the best name? Remember... Why is this not doing it? God damn it. No, it's not even here. God. Remember when we did that? Remember when we did Dead Rising? And the AI was so annoying and they wouldn't follow me, the survivors? Do you remember that? Hey. Remember when we were streaming Resident Evil 2 and we beat that game?
you remember that? Hey, remember when King Barbium made it up to A rank and really did a good show for himself in Monster Rancher? Do you remember that? Hey, do you remember when I built a radio with a poorly translated German instruction manual? And not only did it not work in the end, but it ended up smoking on my desk, and like the batteries got like really hot, and if I left it on for any longer, it might have like caught fire because smoke was coming out of it. Do you remember that? I remember that. You miss King Bobium? He died for our sins? Yeah, our legend got old, man. It's so true. When was the power scaling? I guess early. It was the second stream of the year. By the way, I've been meaning to do, speaking of our legend getting old, by the way, what I'm going to do here is just like, I think we should draw this, like, chimney brush coming up. And then, let me just draw it, like, past the thing, and then we'll figure out how to integrate it, like, in the down chimney after. For now, let me just draw it. And let me do the same thing, where, like, the lines around something are the darker version of the color filling that something, rather than just being black. Speaking of our legend getting old, I've been meaning to record myself doing the Mr. Bean leg jiggle. So that, like, in 8 years or something, you guys can have that, and you can, like, say I, like, look old nowadays, and you miss when I did that. So that's something I gotta get on top of. That's not the greedy alien, by the way. That's a different creature entirely. I'm assuming you can hear. Dude, there are two creatures out there going bark for bark right now. I don't know if you guys are picking that up, but there's like in my right ear, there's like a distant whoa, 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 whoa. And then there's a 1 second pause, and then in my left ear, there's a distant whoa, 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 whoa. I can't tell if they're like harmonizing, or if that's one dog that's like got super fast speed and is like circling me. It's like closing in, you know? Okay, is that sick? That could be sick. It's more like the old banner, the brush was, I won't say realistic, but that was definitely more the design. Like, that's what I was kind of going for. Is this sick? It could be. I think having the metal at the end of the shaft is good. And then I think this flue is nice, though. So let me just go like that. And then do that. Friendly conversation versus dog argument. Oh, you guys, trouble in paradise, disagreements. Uh-oh. How can I make that more obviously metal? I could make the flue darker. They're discussing if mayo or ketchup is better on pizza. Is that a timeout, do you think? Sylvia Girl, do I timeout Dio? What do you think?
Okay, is that a good shine? During the Deltarune streams, by the way, someone was, because I was, at one point, the first chapter 4 stream, I was talking about, in Australia we say tomato sauce, not ketchup. And someone was saying, oh, then what do you put on pizza? And I was like, well, that's probably tomato paste. I don't make pizza, but I feel like tomato paste is like something you use in pasta sauce. That's probably what goes on the pizza. The implication that someone would actually put ketchup tomato sauce on a pizza is ban-worthy. What did you exactly say wrong? Listen, mate. You're digging the hole deeper here. You're telling me you're like, oh, no. Mayonnaise on pizza. That's sick. Like, okay, hold on. I've never had... I feel like there's a lot of meals I have not experienced in my life. I'll openly admit that. I'm not really a big food head in general. I think if I could just like hook an IV into my arm to get all the nutrients I need, that's exactly what I would do. And I'd have like one meal every like 7 months or something. Here in the Balkans, mayo and ketchup on pizza is a standard. Really? I didn't know that. I was just going to say, I've never actually had like chicken on pizza. I feel like you can't have mayonnaise with anything other than like chicken or fish. And to be clear, any meat. And also like, I guess, turkey, whatever, those are basically chickens. And yeah, don't worry, you're not actually going to get timed out or anything, dear. I'm just having a laugh. Tomato sauce ketchup is surprising to me, though. Like, I could understand there being specific pizzas where mayonnaise goes on, and it's like, okay, yeah, for that one, that makes sense. Like, you wouldn't put it on a, I don't know, how am I forgetting the name of the most basic pizza? Margarita. You wouldn't put it on a margarita. But... yeah, like there are specific cases to use mayonnaise. I do not see a case to use tomato sauce. What does that go on, dear? Like, if you were to order tomato sauce on your pizza, what else is on that pizza? Tomato sauce being ketchup. I actually think this brush is going to get moved further up this direction, by the way. That's why I started adding even in the place that's going to be hidden by the chimney. I think it's going to go more out. Chim is Australian, so he isn't enlightened. So you're also like, nah, mayonnaise is sick on pizza. So there you go. Or tomato sauce. Some people here like standard pizza with ketchup on top as a topping. Are you talking only ketchup? You're saying like, oh yeah, it's like a cheese pizza with tomato sauce, and that's it. Or... Because, like, I guess that would be a pretty, like, mild, inoffensive taste, but it also, like, wouldn't be that good. Okay, duplicate layer so I don't lose it, because we're going to start deleting material. So... Oh, I see what the problem is. Hold on. So this goes, for sure, and then some amount of this goes. You've had ketchup on pizza mainly when you were a kid? Well, to me, like, only having cheese and tomato sauce on a pizza definitely sounds like a meal for a child, right? Like, if it was like there's other ingredients too, then it's like, okay, sure, could be an adult. But if we're talking only cheese and tomato sauce, that sounds like. I mean, but also, I don't want to make it sound like I particularly care about, like. Oh, okay. I don't want to be the guy posting about, like, illegal Lego construction, right? I don't want to be the dude who's like, oh, dude, that's an illegal brick technique about your Lego. You're not allowed. Dude, you put the brick in sideways? That's illegal. That's an illegal Lego move. I don't want to be doing that on, like, Reddit. Sometimes it's fun to, like, pretend to be someone who's like, oh, dude, what the heck? But not, never at the expense of actually coming across like you really are like, what the heck? I mean, it's definitely, it is surprising to me, but it's also just like, I barely eat food, dude. Or more accurately, I eat food and I don't care about it, you know? Okay, I think that's good. I eat food because I have to. And I don't care if it. Like, I will eat food that intentionally doesn't taste like anything if it's convenient. Obviously, when food does taste good, that's nice. But if it doesn't, like. Sometimes, I'll be honest, sometimes I avoid nice tasting food. Or food that I've heard tastes nice. Because I don't want to lose my ability to eat crap food in a pinch, you know? I feel like if I was like fine dining, like, oh, I'm gonna really like expand my palate, then if it like came down to it, I wouldn't be able to just be like, I'm just gonna eat, like, I'm gonna grab a piece of bread and eat it with nothing on it. Like, I wouldn't be able to do that anymore. I'd lose that ability. I don't want to lose that ability. Okay, so this is why we preserved the original material, because I want to get a good shape for this hole in the chimney. Let's mess around here. Let's meddle. Let's meddle a little bit. A popular pizza there is pizza with dough, sure, tomato sauce. I assume so tomato paste because ketchup is later. Cheese, pepperoni, peppers, onions, corn, mayonnaise, ketchup. Mayonnaise and ketchup together? I don't know. Maybe I'm just not a big tomato sauce guy. Because, I mean, I like it on the things I have it on. And I have it semi-regularly. But there are actually quite a lot of meals that people have tomato sauce on. And I'm like, that would not be good for me. Like scrambled eggs with tomato sauce. I'm like, I don't think that sounds good at all. I actually think that sounds like, I think I would think it was gross. You know, scrambled eggs are good. Add in tomato sauce. What are you doing? I mean, if you don't think it's gross, then what you're doing is having a meal you enjoy. But I do think it's gross. I'm not going to police your ability to have that meal, but I am going to say we have different tongues. Okay, I think that's that's still, it's this part is really throwing me. A lot of food here could be described as struggle meals. But again, I feel like hold on. What's so okay? This is like 2 bricks here. Maybe the chimney hole will be more clear if we pay attention to the actual brick. Seffi's a big foodie. She likes pickles on pizza. You're cursed. Wait, are those 2 separate statements, or what's the connection there? I mean, I think pickles on pizza also sounds like a combination I haven't had before. I wouldn't say it's outright gross, but it's not one I've had. But it doesn't necessarily sound terrible to me. But are you cursed because you're like fighting a war on 2 fronts now or something? But hold on. You were saying earlier that you also have like mayonnaise on your pizzas. Personally, you don't eat ketchup, and this year you cut your mayo consumption by 90%. I'm just trying to picture how you track that, but I guess if you're having a lot of mayonnaise, maybe you do, like. Okay, hold on, Dio. I know you don't have an answer for this, but I just want you to give me a best estimate, okay? It doesn't need to be the correct number, but just give me a best estimate. Do you have any clue at all how many kilograms of mayonnaise you've had this year? Right? I know that there's no way you measure your yearly mayonnaise intake in kilograms. There's no chance. But is there could you give me a ballpark on it? You know, is there oh dude, last year I ate easy number would be 5 kilograms, and this year I only ate 0.5. That's 90% cut, right? Any hope? Nothing beyond 1 kilogram. Is that including the jars or just the pure mayonnaise? Okay. By the way, this one's trouble because technically, on an actual brick thing, this would be the face end. This would be end 1 and this would be face 2, and it's the same brick. So it'd go like that. But because of the thickness of the bricks we're doing and the thickness of the hole, that doesn't actually work. So, normally this line wouldn't exist because it would be 1 brick going like that. But this line has to exist, so we're doing it. Do we include tartar or not? I'm out of my depth. I'm immediately out of my depth. I don't know foods, man. All I know about tartar is that it's pronounced tartar, and SpongeBob says tartar, and he says, tartar sauce, as a swear word. That to SpongeBob, that's the F-bomb. So, by the way, be careful dropping that in my chat, Dio. Oh, Soviet girl, write this down for your blueprints. Maybe I could live in a pineapple under the sea. That might kind of go hard. Let me know. Wait, why do you need pineapple skin? Is it because it's, resistant to flamethrowers? Because pineapple skin is resistant to flamethrowers. Is that why? Is that why you're asking this? Is that why you're sending me down this path of, I don't know, Soviet girl. I'm starting to get suspicious. Tartar's made out of mayo, that's why. Are we talking only pure mayo? Let's say all up total coagulate of mayonnaise. The total amount of mayonnaise you've had. In all forms. I also think I missed a few things. I was looking over at chat and I saw some things I wanted to respond to for the last 15 minutes. But I was in the middle of something. So while Dio runs the calculations, let me what was it? Oh, because Seffi makes you eat the terrible food combos. So there you go. Let me have this layer that's my palette, specifically labeled as such. cool. Okay, that's a good start, I think. And I think going colorful's a good idea. Also, let me this should be like this, and it should probably be a little bit brighter because it's on the top. And so, more accurately maybe is saying that this should be darker, but I don't want to make it darker. So I have to make it relatively darker by making this lighter. Pure mayonnaise this year would maybe be 100 grams, but plus tartar would be maybe 1 kilogram. So then last year it was 10 kilograms. That's a big cut, Dio. Congratulations. If it was intentional. If it was accidental and incidental, then, like, whatever. But if you were like, damn, man, I've been having a lot of mayonnaise. I need to reduce that. And then you went out and did it. Hell yeah, mate. You got the drive. You got the power. And you stayed hungry. You didn't devour a bunch of mayonnaise. Seffi cooks and is a big foodie. I feel like food is such a... also, I might make this side darker. At least as like a test. Like... I don't know. I feel like it's such a different world to the one I live in. Like, having, like, I just, like, I eat purely to survive, you know? And I feel like, I don't think that's because I don't value taste at all. I think it's because I'm scared to start valuing taste too much. You know? As I said, I'm afraid, like, if I went to like I'm gonna go out to like Gordon Ramsay restaurants and I'm gonna have a bunch of, really like high class food, and I'm gonna eat out at a big restaurant like once a week at least. Like, okay, every Friday we go to a fancy restaurant and have a meal. First of all, that would be really expensive. I'm not sure I could even do that. But second of all, I'd be terrified of like, oh man, now I can't eat food anymore. I just can't do it. Can't eat food. 'Cause like I've had too good food. And so I've restrained myself. It's the same as like I actually do this in like a bunch of different places, I'm realizing now. Do I do something similar with like sleep? I always make sure I get, or I don't always make sure, but nine nights out of 10 I try to get a good amount of sleep, time wise. But I feel like maybe I do try not to sleep in like too comfortable of a position, because it's like, dude, I gotta get out of here later. And Dio, you said it's because you decided to watch your health. Well, hey, listen, seriously, big congratulations on making that determination and then actually going through and doing it. That not everyone can do that. And Seffi and you appreciate food a lot, Soviet girl, because you were poor as kids. So food and good food is a blessing. I definitely like, I don't relate to it in terms of having done it myself, in going for really good food. But I definitely like get it in terms of, a lot of people get a lot of joy out of that, and it's like, it's very real. I think I'm just afraid of like losing out on time, and being like, oh man, I like food too much now because I've had a bunch of good food. Like now I need to make food. I can't just like grab ingredients and eat them individually. I actually have to make food every night. Oh no. Last year you would spend 5 nights at Freddy's per week? What? Dio, how did you make it this far? Every week you were at Freddy's? Damn, dude, you must have some crazy survival instincts on you. What were you doing at Freddy's? How'd you get there? Hey, mate. Like, I'm glad you survived, man. Not everyone can do that. Not everyone can DO that. Is that funny? Just checking in. Okay, I think I want to get... Yeah, I spent so long drawing lanterns last time. I do want to actually, like, at least get the reference of one. Where is it? It's here, but it's not colored in. There it is. Okay, just delete that. Boom. Oh, also, Dio, you asked ages ago, but you said what program is it? Just Photoshop. Nothing fancy. I mean, Photoshop's kind of fancy, I guess, but it's not like a drawing program. I don't have one. I could probably get one if I did like even 25 minutes of research into a good one and found it. But but listen, if I get a really good drawing program, just think of all the time I'll lose, because then I have to be drawing every single day. So you saw Freddy said free mayonnaise and you took the job. Oh, okay. Alright. So I'm going to draw them all differently. I think having kind of different rotations, like they shouldn't all be at this 45-degree angle, you know? So maybe this one has like the one face showing more. So it's kind of like that. And again, we can edit the lines as we go. So I don't need to get it perfect or say we'll fix it in Lantern V2. I can just... something like that, maybe. I think that's cool. Critter is a good drawing program that's free. I'll try to... I'm probably not going to look into it, I'm sorry. I don't want to tell a lie. I don't really need to find a good drawing program, so I'm probably like not gonna, at least not right now. Okay, this could be sick. You also stopped drinking, essentially. Congratulations. But you should probably drink, like, something, Dio. You know humans are 100% water. You have to, like, keep your fluids up, mate. Okay, that's good. We're gonna have to redo a couple of these lines, though. Not good. Song playing in my head, and it's one that I'd be embarrassed to let anyone know I listened to. And I listened to it like a lot over the past few days. Like I was, you don't understand how close I was to singing it. You don't have any idea how close I was to just going like and saying all the words. And that little snippet, even that was a risk, but I was like, there's no way anyone's going to figure out what it is based on this tiny little thing. I can release it, but maybe that was a bad idea, because, you know, do I want to release more now? You achieved 0% water? That's crazy, Dio. What if I just do that? I think that's better. And then how do I want to do this? Do I want to do it this scale way, or do I want to do it one of the ways of, like, Lantern V2, for example? After achieving 0% water, you realize you can only kill something that bleeds, so you're essentially immortal. Stand deviation coded. I think you and stand deviation would really get along, dear. Okay, what if I do something like this? Hold on. What if we do a whole new Lantern V? What were we up to? Like Lantern V5? What if we did Lantern V6 and we did these a completely different way? Because I'm now thinking having kind of like something like this could rule. Right? Where it's like curved for the scales. I can picture that. That could look so sick. We're doing that. Don't sing the song. Don't sing the song. It's close. You have no idea how hard it is. I don't know why this just like attacked me out of nowhere. I've been live for like over an hour. It's been like an hour, 20 minutes. And for some reason, it's just right now. It's like hitting me. I was listening to it a lot like yesterday. Why is this happening? Okay, now consider the angle. Would it be like that, and like the implication that there are more? Or would it be a bunch of them squished up? You know? Would it be like, oh yeah, here's only a few of them because of the angle? Or would it be here's all of them squished together because of the angle? I think it would only be a few of them. Or at least I think that looks better, whether or not that's what it would be. Would it be worse if I said what the song was, or if you like that song? Well, here's the thing: is I can never let you know some of the music I listen to. I listen to a shocking amount of music that I don't like. By the way, like there is a shocking amount of. Okay, this is looking great. By the way, Lantern V6. Holy smokes! Thank God we spent time working on those initial Lantern versions, because this is something else. I listen to a lot of music that I don't like. Sometimes because it's like, hey, if I have a song that I don't particularly like playing while I work on this thing, I'll work faster so that I can turn it off. I actually do that, by the way. I'm like, this song kind of sucks. I'm gonna listen to it on loop for like 3 hours so that I can be like, I have to finish this thing. I can't stop working on this thing because then the song will keep playing. I really do that. But then also, sometimes I listen to music that I don't particularly like just because, well, sometimes I do like it overall, but I don't like the, melody or something, I'm like, this song sounds bad, but the lyrics are clever. Or this song sounds bad and the lyrics are stupid, but, it makes me think of something and is therefore useful to me. I use music quite often to help me get into specific thought spaces. That's making it sound more mystical than it is. I just mean if I'm trying to evoke a certain thing in my imagination, then listening to music... Whoop. Oh, am I doing that on the wrong layer? Yes, I am. Then listening to music that, there we go, has that kind of feeling to it, Oh, it's just because there's no cap. You know what I'm saying? And that one's for the students at Soviet Girls School that you work at. There we go. Oh, and that one needs a little window too. Although, because of the angle, like this isn't actually the end corner, is it? So what would that look like? If the window's like here, then that's got to all be open. And where would we see... would we see anything else? Hold on, let's... just to make it a bit more clear what we're working with. So, okay. The inside is like this. Oh, there's a little... there we go. There was a little thing on the screen. It was like blocking me. The inside is like this. And this is a hole. Hold on. I know there are chat messages. I'll look in a little bit. I need to figure this out. Oh, this should be connected. Wrong. Wait, what? What am I doing? Dense. I'm dense. That's what's going on. Not Dens. That's the guy who's a really good swordsman. I'm dense. Okay. Nice. Okay, and then this needs one too. Cool. But then I think we probably should see the end of this, shouldn't we? I don't know. Yeah, because it's not at an angle. If it was like... if the hole was in something that was like this... and the hole was like this... then that would happen. But here, we should be seeing the whole thing if we can see the flat surface. Okay. And speaking about listening to bad music on purpose, Dio, you say you love hearing Joji's TikTok because it's a great song, but whenever you close your eyes, you see them, so it's hard to listen to the song. I don't think I know that song, and so I don't know who them are, if it's from, like, the music video. I know who Joji is in terms of, like, face and history on the internet, and I probably have heard a lot of his songs, but I don't think I know that one. Oh, and on your game, looking for developers to collaborate with post. You had 3 responses, but haven't led anywhere so far. With 3 responses is good though. You've been listening to this dorky rock opera band called the Proto Men. Is that because in my Dead Rising streams I did the "Tell Me Now" Is there a man among you here? Is there no one who values courage over life? And you were like, what the hell is he yammering about? And you like looked up the lyrics and found it? Or is that a random coincidence? TF2 ruined that song. Ruined TikTok by Joji? It isn't... I mean, I guess people still do play TF2, but I feel like the time for TF2 to ruin a song, you know, when its community was large enough to ruin a song, I feel like it's been a while, you know? I was a big TF2 player, but I feel like it would be difficult for them to ruin a song nowadays. And also, like, I don't know, including even back 2018 or whenever Joji started existing as a musician, primarily. I don't know a lot of famous people, unfortunately. I mean, not unfortunately, I guess it doesn't matter. But, you know, a big problem I face, and I face it in my own head, not in, like, no one's ever caused a problem over it. But a big problem I face in my own head is people will say, I don't know who that is, as an insult to the person when they do know who they are, right? So people, as like, oh, that person, they're not even worth knowing, or oh, they're so irrelevant, or they're not popular enough for me to have heard of them. Who the hell is that? Who are you talking about? As like a insult to the person. And I don't do that. I just happen to like not know a lot of people, and I hope it never comes across as if I'm like, oh, I'm too good to know that person. Oh, I wouldn't know anything about that. I wouldn't. No. I think our interests don't quite align on that one. Like, that's not what's happening. I just, like... I don't know. The way, like, my life is, there's a lot of very well-known people who I'm sure are all very great at what they do and, like, are worth knowing about, you know? It's not that I'm too good to know about them or anything like that. And I just don't know about them. There's a lot of names I would recognize, and I'm like, that's probably an actor or a singer, but I don't know which, and I don't know who they are. And then there's probably also a lot of, like, names I would recognize and be like, oh, I also know what that person looks like. I know their face. But, like, oh, yeah, I know who that is. That's, like, one of the most popular streamers in the world, and I know what they look like, and I know their name. But if you asked me what their voice sounded like, or what they did on their streams, I wouldn't know. And that's not because I'm, like... Oh, it's not really worth my time. It's just because I happen to have not been exposed to it. And, you know, I spend that time I have a great memory for people I've actually met. And I don't know much about all of the myriad strangers I haven't met, including the ones who a lot of people do know things about. I know a startling amount about the people I have met. You guys would be goddamn startled. If I was to list all the information I remember about each of you, from, like, just things you've said in comments and streams, you'd be like, oh man, should I, like, monitor my internet presence a little bit more? Should I, like, be careful? He knows a lot. This guy's, like, I'm kind of nervous now. Probably not, by the way. You don't need to actually be nervous. But I do know, like, I remember things about people when a person tells me about them. And I don't really, like, go out of my way to learn things about people I've never met. So when it comes to famous people, most of the time I only know what I know incidentally. I mean, my favorite musician of all time Regina Spektor, and she's been my favorite musician for like years and years. She might not be forever, right? I think if Amelie Farron keeps making absolute bangers, it could, could be her. But she's only got a very small amount of songs at the moment. But Regina Spektor is like my favorite musician ever, and she has been for years. And I've never seen her do an interview once. I've never. Not a single time. The closest I get is like sometimes I'll look at a Regina Spektor song like on Genius Lyrics and read some of the annotations. And sometimes they have like a quote from an interview. And then I'm like, oh, yeah, it's kind of weird. I've never like listened to her talk about something. Especially because I would be interested, It's not even like oh yeah, that's not really for me. It's like, no, I'd be like, oh yeah, I want to know. But I just haven't done it. And I probably won't. Maybe I will. I don't know. Your name is Walter Hartwell Wright. You live at 308 Negro Arroyo Lane, Albuquerque, New Mexico, 87104. This is your confession. Sorry, is that kind of... Dio, I'm not trying to bring back any kind of traumatic memories for you, but is that kind of like connection terminated voice? Five Nights at Freddy's, right? I've never played a single Five Nights at Freddy's game, but listen, I know about them. It's the exact same thing as like with the famous people. I'm not going to pretend I don't know about something I do know about. I mean, sometimes I might, actually. But I'm never as like an insult to the thing of like, oh, this isn't worth knowing about. Oops. But like anything I pick up is usually incidental. Okay, that's not perfect, but I also think it doesn't need to be. I think we kind of screwed up a little. I'm saying we, by the way, because this is on you guys as well as me. By originally thinking we wouldn't do it. The angle I originally imagined was much less 45 degrees than this. This is obviously a little twisted, but not that much. And then that kind of screwed up this side, but I think that's fine. It's that's kind of like cartoony. It kind of looks like the front cover of a storybook so far, don't you think? Like a children's book. That's kind of cool. Okay, so I don't actually know about your fear of the moon, and I forgot about your fear of low resolution. Hey, Dio. That's what I thought. Connection terminated. I'm sorry, Elizabeth. If you even still remember that name. Hold on. Okay, listen, I have a crazy memory. I really do. Never played that game. Watched someone do parts of it, like maybe once, maybe 4 years ago or more. Let's see. Does anyone... You guys know what I'm talking about, right? You guys know, like, the Five Nights at Freddy's. I think it's Pizzeria Simulator. Yes, it is. It's the end. You have to get, like, the good ending. I don't know how you get the good ending, but you have to do some secret stuff. It might be because you let in all of the broken... Like, there's, like, repair sections with animatronics, and you let them in. I'm not sure. And then you get the good ending, and the guy... I think the voice is a character named Henry Emily. Hold on. I think I might know all of this. I think it's... Yeah, and you say Henry's speech, so I'm on the money. That message just came through on my end. Henry Emily is the guy who he made the animatronics, and his business partner was William Afton, and William Afton is Springtrap, and he killed the children that their souls are making the animatronics move, and he's been a real menace for a long time now, and they keep killing him, and he keeps coming back, and he says that as well, and then William gets Henry Emily traps all of the animatronics and William Afton in the pizzeria simulator place, and then he like leaves a message for them because he's gonna burn their house down, and he goes like connection terminated, because I think you're getting like a message from Henry Emily's daughter, Charlotte, and it's the one in Baby, not the Boss Baby, different Baby. Circus Baby is the name of the animatronic her spirit's in. And she's like sending you a message at the end of the game like, oh, hello, we're going to kill you. And then Henry Emily interrupts it and he goes, oh, connection terminated. I'm sorry, Elizabeth, not Charlotte. If you even still remember that name. By now, you may have realized that you have all been... that you've not been called here for the purposes you originally thought, but you have indeed been called here into a maze of sounds and smells that something, and William, I'm gonna burn you to death. So don't keep the devil waiting, old friend. You're gonna get burned to death. It's like that. Right? Did I eat and leave no crumbs? Or were there crumbs? Did like crumbs get in between your keyboard keys right there? Nah, you gotta clean that under the sink, dude. Henry's daughter is Charlie, and she's in the puppet. The one in the Circus Baby, not the Boss Baby, that's a different baby. Okay, right, I got lost. Talks to you is William's daughter, Elizabeth. Right. And you play as Michael Afton, who is William Afton's son, and he's out to get him. And he's also you play as him in the first game too, maybe. And you play as him in Five Nights at Freddy's 3 when you burn down Springtrap's house for the first time, and he gets a new house. He had to relocate. And then in this game, you're playing as him, and you're, like, you stay in the burning house to die as well. And also, Circus Baby, your sister, like, scooped your guts out and, like, killed you, but you survived for no reason. There's no reason you could survive. You have no organs, but you're a sack of skin and you survived and you're purple. And Henry Emily sees you, and he's, like, in this speech as well. He says, and to you, the person who's been working here, and I put in harm's way, and probably got killed several times over the course of this game, but in, you know, whatever, you got the good ending here. Originally there was an exit for you to leave as well, but I don't think you're gonna want to use it. So you can stay here and burn to death as well. And he doesn't even give you, like, the option of surviving. He just assumes, oh, you seem like the kind of guy who would want to burn to death. And so he, like, makes it happen. He doesn't think it's possible to, like, hey, I want to remove... My father's a threat to the world and, like, children. I want to make sure the world is safe. I want to get rid of him. And then I can go and live a normal life. Henry Emily's like, nah, you seem like the kind of guy to want to burn to death. And then he doesn't tell you how to get out, and you die. Can I redo that speech but put on the right music? I don't think I could redo that speech if I tried. I think some of the facts I just listed, I, like, used. Like, they're spent now. There's, like, my memory has a bunch of bullets, and those have been reduced to casings. I think some of the facts I recited, I would not be able to recite again if pressed. I need, like, a year to reload. Jim, you need to do some chores, but you're glad to have caught an hour or so? I'm glad to have had you here. Hour and 40 minutes. I hope the chores go swimmingly and swiftly. I don't know how much longer the stream's going to be. I feel like we're making good progress here. I want to at least get a start on one of the buildings. and do the balloon of this. But okay. By the way, do you hear like the symphonies picked up again? Off to my right. The one on the left has quit though. I want the balloon. Do I need a reference for a balloon? I don't need a reference for a balloon. What? Hold on, Sophie Girl, are you still here? You can pick the color of this front balloon if you're still here. If you're not, ooh, missed opportunity. Oh, that's so embarrassing. Oh, that bites, dude. If you watch this like part of the VOD back later, you're gonna be like, ah, dude, I missed it. I missed it. You need to be careful not to say something bad or I'll hit you with another connection terminated. Okay. I have a real problem that, like, sometimes I think things that, like, would absolutely not be funny at all would be funny because they wouldn't be funny. And I just, like, you just hit me with a flashbang and I just got a picture of, like, what if there was a streamer, and it could be me, who was like really hostile towards their chat room and like, yeah, you guys, and like frequently handed out timeouts and bans, and every single time they timed someone out or banned them, they played the connection terminated speech. You know? It's like, oh, dude, you just spoiled how to solve that puzzle. Hits like the hotkey and connection terminated. I'm sorry, Emma. I'm sorry, Elizabeth, if you even still remember that name. It's a maze of sounds and smells. And it's like the full, like, 3 minutes or whatever. Don't keep the devil waiting, old friend. With, like, the viewer who got banned. And then at the end, like, the streamer's really righteous about it, too. The streamer doesn't just move on and like, okay, back to the stream. The streamer's like, yeah, how's that feel? How's it feel? Sounds like a funnier version of Low Tier God. Well, again, not as an insult to the gentleman. I know his username. I know his face. I have no idea what he does on his streams. Or if I'm pretty sure he streams, but I don't know, like, was he originally like a YouTuber who then started streaming after making videos? Or was streaming always his thing? I don't know. And you know what, in this case, don't tell me, because I think he might be like a potentially troublesome figure. I don't actually know. That's the other problem, by the way, about, like, not knowing famous people. Is, okay, like, Regina Spektor's my favorite musician. What if she was, like, openly, I don't know, like, oh yeah, but I think we should, like, Regina Spektor voice, by the way. I think we should burn people's house down if they send a message in chat, and we should play the connection terminate. Like, what if that was a real opinion she held, and it was, like, publicly known, and then I'm out here saying Regina Spektor's my favorite musician. You know? That's the problem, is, like, I'm constantly concerned. I'm not constantly concerned, but I'm somewhat casually concerned about what if I was to, like, I guess the concern, right? The concern is if I accidentally endorse someone who is, like, secretly evil, that's, like, okay, right? Because, like, no one knew. We couldn't have known. It was a secret. They were secretly evil. The real problem is if I endorse someone who is obviously evil. And then it's like, Chimmaney, you didn't know? How? Everyone knows. There's no way you didn't know. You really just said, oh yeah, dude, like, someone in chat mentions a specific streamer, and you're like, oh yeah, I've seen, like, 1 or 2 of that person's things. They're pretty funny. And then people in chat are like, dude, seriously? You support that streamer? Don't you know that they do, like, Racism Sundays? Yeah, every week they do a stream called Racism Sundays. Where they... Can you imagine? Oh, and guess what they do during those streams, Chimmaney? Do you know? Do you have a suspicion? I didn't know. No, guys, I didn't know about Racism Sundays. You knew about Racism Sundays, Chimmaney. It's all over the internet. People have been talking about it on all these different internet forums. If you go to their channel, you will see Racism Sundays as part of, like, their weekly uploads. You knew about Racism Sundays, Chimmaney. I didn't know. No, I saw, like, a couple of clips here and there. I watched, like, one highlight video. I don't know. I saw a little bit. They seemed, like, funny and interesting. Really, funny and interesting. The guy who does Racism Sundays? I didn't know. I'm sorry. Would low-tier god count as super evil? I don't know, Dio. That's the problem. I don't know anything about the gentleman. And not because it's like, oh, he's not worth knowing. He's not worth my time. It's just because, I don't know, I haven't seen it. You know? There are a lot of streamers that I've seen, like, 1 or 2 highlight videos from, or I've, like, tuned into a single stream from. And if you asked me about them, if you asked me to give an opinion on them, and I gave you one, it would be like, yeah, they seem funny, they seem good. And I would have no idea if they were doing Racism Sundays. I wouldn't know. It would be news to me. And so, like, I'd just be like, yeah, I don't really know that person, because I only know, like, a tiny bit about them. By the way, this pale balloon kind of crazy. I like it a lot. Just gonna add a little, like, shine thing. And I think that's good. I think that's all we need. I think that's first lantern done, minus the glow, but we'll add in the glow, like, at the end when we're doing a bunch of the lanterns. You don't think there's a single instance of low-tier god being a good person? Okay, but here's the thing. I don't know that, right? So there is a real feasible world. I believe you. But I think there is a real feasible world where I watched, like, one highlight video where none of that was featured. And it was just him making, like, a joke. And it's like an 11-minute video drawing from a few different streams. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that's kind of funny. And then someone mentions him. And I'm like, oh, yeah, dude, I've seen one of his videos. He's a pretty funny guy. And everyone in chat's like, what the hell is Chimmaney talking about? Chimmaney, seriously? You like that guy? It's like, oh, no, I didn't know. Again, if I accidentally say something good about someone who's secretly evil, like, whatever, we didn't know. But if I accidentally say something good about someone who's obviously evil, that's a real problem. Because it's like, Chimmaney, there is no way. Chimmaney, come on. Are you kidding me? There is no way you did not know about Racism Sundays. It's the only thing people ever talk about with this person. It's everywhere. I see it all over Twitter. I see it all over Reddit. I see it all over everywhere. And if you actually go to their channel, it's immediately obvious. All their top highlights are Racism Sundays. If you just go from, like, sort by recent, not popular, you'll see it because it's every week. You knew about Racism Sundays. I didn't know. I didn't know about Racism Sundays. I had no idea. You have to believe me. I did not know. Anyway. The reason that's, like, in my mind, by the way, is because I don't know if this is just, like, a mental thing to, like, prepare myself for danger or something. But if you were to, like, get inside my brain, one of my, like, most common types of thought, I guess, is, hold on, let me let me group some of this up. One of my most common type of thought is something along the lines of, what's your opinion on X? Not like Twitter, but as in, like, Chimney. As in, like, I'm being asked the question, what's your opinion on, and then it's a person, or it's a thing, or it's mayonnaise on a pizza. And then, like, I mentally reply. Most of the time, my mental replies are like, I don't really know what that is. But there's like So an example would be like, hey Chimmaney, who's your favorite VTuber? Of all the VTubers, who's your favorite VTuber? And I guess it's like a mental preparation of like, hey, look, if I was asked that, how would I respond? And the answer, I'll answer that question as like a demonstration, because this is pretty much how all the answers go. Is like, hey, dude, I've seen a few. I've seen quite a lot, actually. If you ask me, I bet if I really went for it, I could name and like I could say a name and then match the name I said to a picture for like at least like 50 VTubers, I think. None of them I watch like that much because I don't really have time to watch a lot of live streams. But I know I've seen them, and I try to at least keep my finger somewhat on the pulse of like the online community. I don't know about like actors and singers, but it feels like this is a space I should at least try to stay somewhat informed on, so that I don't accidentally like, I don't know. I don't know, like, what if I play Among Us and there's, like, and the guy who does Racism Sundays is in the lobby, you know? And then when the guy who does Racism Sundays starts accusing someone of being the imposter, I, like, back that guy up. And it's like, whoa, Chimmaney. You seriously backing him up? You're backing up the guy who does Racism Sundays in this Among Us game? You're vouching for him? Chimmaney, did you really just vouch for the guy who does Racism Sundays in Among Us? Nah, man. You're the IRL imposter, Chimmaney. I thought you were cool, but you fell off. So I keep my finger kind of somewhat on the pulse. Maybe not on the pulse. I don't keep my finger on the pulse, but I, like, keep my stethoscope, like, on the tummy, right? So I can vaguely hear the heartbeat if everything else is, like, kind of quiet and I have a moment. But I'm not going to give you the BPM, you know. But, with that said, so there are a few I've looked at, and I'll, like, watch a stream or two on the other monitor while I'm working on something normally in Photoshop, like, say, Pokemon sprites or Darkest Dungeon sprites. Just so I can kind of get an idea for what the person's like. So there are probably at least, like, 30 VTubers, and I just picked VTuber as a random example of, like, the question, but there are probably at least 30 that I have an opinion on. And a lot of them are positive, you know? But I would never share any of those opinions because they're not, like, that evidence-backed, right? It's like, oh, this person seems, like, really funny. And that person in chat said, like, a really weird, rude message. And they responded well to it, you know? They responded elegantly and gracefully. They shut it down, but they didn't do it in a way that, like, encouraged bullying or anything. And they managed to move on really well. That was a very elegant solution to that difficult situation. They seem funny. They seem good-natured. Cool. But if they did Racism Sundays, I literally would not know. I wouldn't know. There would be no way of me knowing. Because that's not how I engage with it. And that's how a lot of it goes. Is like, oh, dude, Chimmaney, who's your favorite member of, I'm trying to even remember a single streamer group name. Oh my god, that's embarrassing, actually, that I don't... What's like the really big, like, OTK? Is that one? Offline TV is also one? Although they might have split apart, like, 4 years ago. I don't actually know. Oh, who's your favorite member of this? Well, actually, in that example, I wouldn't know who is a member of or not. Anyway, you get the point. The point is, it's all fuddled up. It's all befuddled. Alright, what do we draw next? Another lantern or a building? Let's do the start of the blimp. That could be kind of cool. New group blimp. Anyway, yeah, you would be surprised if you were inside my head. I think you'd be surprised about a lot of things. For example, the music playing. You'd be like, Chimmaney, this music sucks. Or like, Chimmaney, this music's good, but it's like, it doesn't seem like the kind of thing you would like at all. And it's like, yeah, I mean, I don't really. But I like listening to it, even though I don't like it. By the way, that dog has been crazy engaged. I'm glad my greedy alien has been, like, taken the high road. You know? My greedy alien is so funny, by the way. He's like he's such a troll, you know? He's such a troll face. Because my greedy alien... Okay, I want it to be thicker. If he's like walking past a place that has a dog in it, and the dog is like, oh, whoa, 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 you know, barking because a dog's walking nearby outside its territory, he just like very calmly walks up and like puts his nose in between the fence posts and like he has a sniff and like a hello. He's just not bothered at all. He reacts like a deaf dog would react. Of like, oh, there's a friend over there. Like, that couldn't hear the barking. But he's not deaf at all. His directional hearing sucks, you know. If there's a big noise to his left, he'll look to the right and go look around the right. But, by the way, this is why those artists are now, like, shaking their head and, like, hand on their mouth, like, laughing, like, shaking their head. Being like, this is why you're supposed to build line confidence, Chimmaney. This is why you don't draw your lines in, like, dashes like that. Because now you can't do this smoothly. Shut up! Leave me alone. Rage Beta, completely right, Jonathan. But anyway, yeah, that's exactly what he does. And then there are some places that he knows the dog will bark. Because every time we go past it, the dog barks, right? And he legitimately is such a troll. He will always, like, as we're getting close to there, he starts sprinting, and so I'm running with him, you know, on the lead. I like to let him set whatever pace, because, you know, the walks are kind of for him, not really for me. And so he's running, so I'm running with him so that he can. And then he gets to the fence and he runs past and he like jumps in the air. If you can picture, hold on, you don't need to, I'll do it for you. So, like, I don't know, dog shape, right? He's running really fast. He will jump into the air and turn so that he's now flying this direction, but facing the fence. So the fence is here. And he jumps into the air and mid-air turns his body so that his face is like... and, you know, in the actual thing, because he's a dog, so he's down by the fence. He's flying past the fence. So he's like here, and he jumps, and he's like sliding his face past the posts mid-air, like looking for the dog, and then he lands and keeps running. And if the dog isn't there that day, if the dog isn't barking, he'll stop and like go back and like check around and like, where is it? I don't know if he's actually trolling or if he's like, if he's just like, oh, this is part of the game and I'm playing with a good friend of mine, and he doesn't know that the other dog's like rah, 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 in anger. I think he's trolling. I actually do. You're so confused how we got to this. We were talking about... Well, I think it's just because we were talking about something else, but then there's a dog barking next door, and I was talking about how my dog wasn't barking. And reacts to angry dogs in a very, like, calm manner. So how we got to it is kind of just I started talking about it. I don't know how you lost track. Okay. Drawing a blimp. I don't know. I imagine, and then there's going to be a neon sign on the side, but is it just as simple as, like, something like this? I think there should be, like, a wing or a fin here, right? You thought I didn't have a dog and that I had a grey alien? I have a greedy alien. I call him Greedy Alien instead of his name on streams. And also sometimes in real life. But always on streams just because... I don't know. It's just like extra caution of if I accidentally say his name and then, I don't know, if someone's in Melbourne and then they hear like me calling out his name somewhere. You know. At like a dog park. Okay, that kind of works. And then it does need a fin, I think. I don't really, you know, maybe I should get a blimp reference picture, but not doing it. Thicker line. I've also taken to calling him Slug recently. I think that's kind of sick. You know, well, he'll be like on my bed and I'm like patting him on the head and scratching him behind his ears and stuff, and I'm going, "You are a slug. You are a slug." And he doesn't even know what I'm talking about. Like, he literally doesn't even speak a language. He's so stupid. Like, to not know a language, whatever. But to not know a language or sign language? Come on, mate. What are you doing? What are you spending your time on? What are you so busy with? Did you find out about Halo 2? Because if you ever found out about Halo 2, it would be damn over, dude. If my dog ever was like, "Oh, dude, I just figured out how to use an Xbox controller, and I just, like, played the Master Chief Collection," he'd never want to do anything else ever again. Also, he would be such a troll over the mic. Like, he gets a kill, and someone on the other team is like, "Oh, that wasn't fair. What the hell? You're cheating. Whatever, dude. Oh, yeah, nice last hit after I was, after I killed your teammate. You came in and swooped in and got the kill on me." And my dog would just, like, jump in the air and, like, look at him over the microphone. And he'd be like, "Don't do that to me over the mic. Don't look at me over the mic. Come on." Bad manners, dude. Remembering this stream... Sorry, what was that? Remembering this stream has got you feeling good because you remember how well you got this year? How well you got as in health? That's awesome, if true. Got an Airbud ass dog. There are no rules that say a dog can't play Halo 2. That's facts. They should, like... I think a dog can't play TF2. I think you'll get a VAC ban. I think that is in the terms of service. But Halo 2, I don't think that was implemented. Okay, is that... hold on. Is this a blimp or is this a giant flying whale from, like, Dishonored? Does that kind of go hard? What if it's a Dishonored whale? Like, It can still have a neon sign on the side, but what if there's just like a giant whale floating through the city? I think to make the blimp better, I would need to get a reference picture. I don't know, we might leave that for now. That's kind of sick. I think we can probably bring in the moon from the sketch. What layer is that? This one. Oh, sorry, Dio. You should maybe look away for this part. Although it is going to be here for the rest of the entire stream, so... Sucks to be you. Cool. It'll look cooler as well, like when it's behind smog and stuff, but... Oh, and there should be smog on the chimney. But I think this is looking kind of cool. Also, that looks like a whale? Are you talking about the thing that I have been calling a whale. At least the moon isn't getting any closer. Yeah, you know what? Actually, I'll help you out, Dio. Sorry, that's my window sound. I'll help you out. I'll actually make it get further away. There you go. Nice and far away, don't you think? Okay, I don't think this should be a whale. I think it should be a blimp, but I'll need to get a reference image for that. Blimp. Oh, they don't? Okay, so they do have fins, but they're like at the back, not at the side. So if I delete the eye. If I put this like... Oh, that instantly way better. Instantly. And then there's like an undercarriage. So let me add that. You press the letter N, and the next thing you know, you got an ad for the new Samsung? N. You shouldn't be getting any ads on this stream. And turn those off. Every single time I go to live stream, YouTube is like, creators make 60% more money if they turn on automatic ads during their live streams. Are you sure you don't want to turn it on? You shouldn't be getting any, unless YouTube is, like, finally snapped. I mean, I think you... No, you shouldn't even be getting any when you first click on it. That you definitely shouldn't be getting any mid-roll. Sorry, VOD watchers, you kind of do get them. It's the way the cookie crumbles, I'm afraid. But you don't miss anything, so it's alright. VOD watchers, have I been wicked funny this stream? I'm asking that in like the tone of like Father Christmas. Have I been good this year, by the way? VOD watchers, please be honest. Have I made you laugh so hard it hurts? By the way, I think a real problem with me, not a fake problem with me. I think if I... You know, sometimes someone's, like, sick, and they're, like, some kind of thing, and if they laugh, they're kind of like, oh, don't make me laugh, that hurts. Right? I think my default state, and I need to, like, actively fight it in order to stop it, is I don't stop making them laugh at all. And I'm just like, I keep business as usual, you know? Like, I don't go harder. I don't go for like, okay, I'm gonna make you laugh even more then. I just do like I don't change my behavior at all. And I think, you know, you could say that's good because maybe, you know, it's good to make them laugh a bit, but also if it's like real pain, then maybe I should like step off the pedal a bit, you know? Also, Dio, you say you did get ads getting into the streamer, then maybe I can't turn those off. Maybe it's just mid-rolls I can control. Because mid-rolls, you either have them set to automatic or manual, and so I just have them set to manual and then don't ever run them. And YouTube is like it's like rage-facing about that, you know? It's like making a fist and like clenching its teeth and... Okay, that blimp looks good. Moving that fin did a lot. And then, should we just add the neon sign? Should there be a little propeller on the back of this, or is that stupid? Obviously, there'd be a big propeller back here. That's probably stupid. Maybe this should be longer, though. We can consider it a blimp V2. Okay, let me... So, neon sign, how should this work? If it's actually neon... Because one thing we could do is we could, like... Actually, that color kind of works. We could have something like that. And then it's like this kind of sign. Like written on the side, and that kind of works. But if I want it to be neon... Okay, I'll leave that there for now, just on a hidden layer. And also I'll actually, yeah, I think this is kind of sick. I think that's cool. But I think I want the actual sign to maybe be neon letters. I don't know. Also, we need to decide what it says. What does it say? What does the neon sign say? It shouldn't just be Chimmaney. It can be a reference to a Chimmaney video. But... It needs to be a kind of, like, timeless one. You know, I don't want it to just be, oh, here's a video I made, like, recently. It needs to be one that, like, people... It needs to... I guess what I'm saying is the sign needs to stand on its own even if you haven't seen the video, right? It should reference a common thing I do, like Racism Sunday. Dio, you got the wrong idea. When I vouched for the guy in Among Us, I had no idea what he was up to. I know, like, after the meeting ended and we all deafened, I was like, oh yeah, he seems like a really cool guy. He seems like really funny. And everyone in chat was like, dude, Chimmaney, you have to know. There's no way. There is no way you do not know this about this guy. Everyone knows. I didn't know. I'm sorry. He marinated me, IRL. Chimney's the imposter, but in real life. No, I'm not! Okay, I'm just scrolling through my completed videos folder to see any kind of inspiration. I don't think any of the Zombie Apocalypse videos necessarily neon sign. Okay, Pokemon Black. I think something to do with Pokemon Black could work because it being a series makes it kind of more timeless on the channel. You know what I mean? And it has like a stronger presence just through quantity of episodes. So... what could it be? It could. I don't want it to just be like Team Plasma. If it's something to do with Pokemon Black, I want it to be something to do with my series, not the game, you know? So, like, Team Plasma is the actual name of that organization in the game. That can't be it. Hey, son. I'm just gonna have a scroll through and have a think. I also don't want it to be anything spoilers, so it has to be something in a released episode. Oh, it could be like something to do with Clay, like it's one of Clay's businesses. He owns this blimp. You know, his name is Clay in the original game, but just saying like Clay's Emerald Company or something. That would be fine. But if it's neon, I think it should be an advertisement, not like we're the company that own this blimp and it's like a company blimp. It should be like a where this is advertising on the blimp, you know?
Okay.
Cupid video. That, by the way, that wasn't me. That was me at the start of Pokemon Black 7B. Okay, wait. I'm gonna make that noise, and I'm gonna play the video, and I'm gonna do them, and you need to guess which is which, the first or the second. Ready? You probably guessed it had music. I didn't remember it had music, and it was quieter. I did a clever trick, though, where I clicked as if to play before I did my so that it might, like, throw some people off. Okay, if it's not a Pokemon Black thing, then I think it would just need to be one of, like... It could be a reference to a one-off video, but I don't think it could be a reference to just any one-off video. I think it would need to be first me, second video, sad face. Is the sad face because I called out your reasoning of the music, Jonathan? Or is the sad face like, too easy? Like, the first is you, the second's the video. What an easy puzzle for my intellect. Give me a real challenge next time. What about Neon? I was considering that, and I think that could be kind of funny. But I don't know. I'd like to consider my options before going to that. If it is a one-off video, or like at least not Pokemon, I think the candidates would be the Batman kind of series, if you want to call it that. Portal 2, specifically, more than Portal 1, even though it's kind of the same. The Grim Sower. Oh, it could be a University of Assassins thing, because that's a cool, like, Chimmaney channel presence. Could be something to do with, like, Mega Man. What about changing it with every upload to the latest upload? That is a really cool idea, Dio. I haven't worked on this banner in a year, though. So I'm not sure I would actually do that, you know. Maybe I could do it, like, every single year in the New Year's stream after this is complete. So not this year, but then, like, maybe part of the New Year's stream is, like, viewers get to vote on which video gets put on the neon blimp sign. You know? But also, YouTube banners are actually quite thin on most, you know, most YouTube interfaces, and I think the chimney is important. So it's probably going to be like this. It's probably even going to be thinner than that. It's probably going to be like, this is what most people see, I think. And the full image is just like extra. So maybe that wouldn't work. If we had something... no, the buildings would need to move in order to have like a sign, just because that sign's kind of blocked by there, and I think that lantern's cool to have. What about N in a hospital bed on the neon sign? You mean like a neon, like, sign drawing with, like, the neon tubes in the shape of N in a hospital bed? I don't know, Dio. I don't know if that's... I don't know if I'm going to be doing that one. Okay, maybe we'll leave it like this for now, and we'll move on to something else, and I'll just think about the neon sign. Excuse my stretch.
Yeah. Something to do with Batman could be cool. Or the University of Assassins. What neon sign could be? Maybe like a logo, like a sword, and then it says like UOA or something. Let me give it a try. Let me just So I think neon sign. You draw white and then like add colors around it, or at least that's what I would do. Let's give it a go. So like UOA, and then like a sword, but not like a knight sword like that, because it's not really like, that's not really what the organization is, you know. What's like an assassin blade that I can draw? Like, don't just name like knife or something. I'm more wondering how I would draw it. Also, I think this should be thinner because the colors are going to add the, but thicker than that. And then the colors around the outside will be adding the, okay, please. We'll be adding the stuff. Would a neon sign on a blimp even be safe? I think blimps are remarkably more safe than like the media's willing to let you know nowadays. But also, like, it doesn't need to be safe. You know, this is a city where there are still humans climbing up chimneys to clean them. You know, it's not. It's also It's a blimp flying among lanterns that are floating up into the sky. Safety's not number one priority in Goldburn, where this takes place, I guess. And then what kind of handle would the blade have? That I could draw, like... No, it shouldn't be long. Or like wide, you know, it shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't have a crossguard, I think. But it also shouldn't be... I feel like that's too basic, you know? Or is it? I don't know. If I do it properly, I was kind of just doing it quick to do a mock-up. Is that good? Let me name some of these layers real quick. Is neon pink? Is pink? Do we think that's good? Or what should this be? You could also, I'm just going to move it around a bit. Actually, I think that should, I should redo that. What do I think about the name Scrappler? For a human? Child abuse. For, I don't know, like a wacky character who kind of pieces things together, or like collects scraps, or is like a wacky inventor. I think that's good. For a job that, like, it's not a person, but it's the job where you do those things I just described. I think that's good. For a robot, yeah, I think that's good.
I'm gonna give it more space so that it can be thickened out by the colors. Let's go pink for now. And then thicker. Does anyone have any idea when Deltarune Chapter 5 is going to come out? Because I want to play it. Like now. I want to play it now. I don't want to play it tomorrow. I mean, I would accept it. You know what? Fine, Toby. We can compromise. I'll play it tomorrow. I hope, dude, I so hope the Deltarune ending doesn't suck. If, like, all these, you know... Because I think there's a real way it could suck. If, like... I think the gameplay is probably at a point, and he seems to improve it with every game anyway, but I think it's at a point where... With every chapter. I think it's at a point where if he didn't improve it anymore, it would still be fun, and that wouldn't be the bottleneck, you know? That wouldn't be where the hill he's dying at. That's not in the metaphorical way. I mean, I guess in a different metaphor to the normal dying on a hill metaphor. But, like, I think the story... Like, if he does not have a good plan and he's just pretending about having a good plan, I think he could pull it off, but I don't know, it would be tough. It would be tougher, right? Like, if he does not have answers to the stuff he's setting up, that's gonna be a real issue. Okay, that's not gonna work because they're linked. Oh, that's annoying. Damn, okay. I'm just gonna have to do it the annoying way. Nope. Gotta be honest, you're not a fan of Undertale? You think it's extremely overrated and just alright? I've not played it. So, I'm not qualified to answer. Oh, really? No, dude, I've seen people play Undertale. I think it looks like a really fun game. I think it looks good. Whoa, Chimmaney. Did you just endorse Undertale? Don't you know what happens if you play that game on a Sunday? No, I didn't know. I swear to God, I didn't know. I actually didn't. No, I've just, like, seen bits and pieces of it. I've seen, like, I thought I saw most of the story. I guess I missed that part. I don't know. I didn't see, like, a lot of online discussions about it. I'm not, like, involved in the forums. I don't know. I missed that one, guys. I'm really sorry. Okay, this isn't, I think this needs a lot of work to be good. I think it, first of all, should be bigger. And I think the glow should be bigger. But the whole thing should be, like, scaled up at least, like, 40 to 60% at least. And I think it could also... Whoops. I think it could also be good if there was something like a bit of neon that, like, wasn't part of it and kind of, like, ran down here and ran up here. Also with the color going to it, but, like, a neon kind of band going around it. The good news is, this is, I don't think we need to care too much about, oh no, now I have to redraw this, because, like, it's not that going to be intensive, I don't think. What was my favorite chapter of Deltarune? Your guess is that it's chapter 3? Did you watch my streams of Deltarune or the VODs? Because if you did, that's a strange guess. I wasn't really crazy big on Chapter 3. I didn't dislike it at all. I still definitely liked it, but I wasn't like yeah, I don't know. It would either be Chapter 4 or Chapter 2. I think I would need to replay them to give like a definitive answer. So I'll just give a tentative chapter. I think Chapter 2 is the funniest in the game, and I think I like the kind of tone the most. Chapter 4 has the old man who's really cool. It has... I feel like Chapter 4... I haven't replayed any of the chapters. Except, I guess, the end of Chapter 1 after I beat Jovel. I feel like Chapter 4 might suck on a replay, though. Is that real? Just thinking about how, like... Because, like, the Light World segment, it was really cool. I liked it a lot, but it's kind of extended, and you have to, like, go through it all. I don't know. Maybe I would lean Chapter 2 as my favorite, but it would be bloody close between Chapter 2 and Chapter 4. Chapter 4 was awesome. Personally, you just felt a connection with Tenor, and you thought I would too, because I'm also an entertainer. I mean, I don't feel a connection with... There are a lot of real-world entertainers I don't feel a connection with. Also, Tenor... Well, I don't want to say this after you've just said you felt a connection with Tenor. But, you know, Tenor was, like, pretty insane, you know? Like, Tenor wasn't just like, oh, I'm an entertainer. All I want is to entertain. Tenor was like, please, no, you can't stop watching the TV. Come back to the TV. No, Chris, don't hit the button. Don't turn off the TV. Connection terminated. What if I did like one of those graduation caps instead of a dagger? Because it is a university. Hey, you're also insane? Oh, okay. Then I don't need to hold back. What does this look like? It's like a semicircle down here, right? I mean, you can't tell what that is. Let me get a reference real quick. Graduation cap. Okay, that's better. So it's like straight down. Well, maybe I should make this more 3D, but the fact it's a neon sign, I don't know if that's, you know, good to do. We'll try it. And then it's like straight down and round. Yeah, no, you cannot tell. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna translate. Like, even if we add like the tassel, nah. Because you also have to remember this is going to be a neon sign, so it's going to be like with color around all these white lines. That's not going to work. What could I do? Could I do like a book? But then, I don't know, I was thinking like a book with a dagger on top of it. But in a neon sign, that doesn't really work. On like an actual banner, that could work. So maybe we do that, and then we have like the drawing on the banner. But a neon sign, you can't really have something as detailed as like a knife on top of a book. Yeah, that doesn't work. Okay, well let's just do this for now. And you know, yeah, we can just you know, actually let me get the same pink. Let's at least do this part of the neon sign, and then we can figure out what goes next to it after. Funny I mentioned it because you had a scary dream recently. I don't remember what I mentioned, but go on about your dream and I'll probably figure it out. And then also, like, remember this will look even better when we have like a kind of glow coming from behind the neon sign, you know, like this isn't the end of the neon effort, but the rest comes later. Actually, maybe I'll just keep that there as a placeholder, just so I remember too, and I can kind of like get a visualization of it. And then there'll be like smog and stuff, and there'll be smoke coming up from the chimney. You were at a store and you found a Gerson ice cream and a Gerson Kinder Surprise. That's scary to you?
Ah! This old turtle's inside of a chocolate egg. This egg should be on the beach. Turtles are kind of endangered. What's this egg doing in the middle of a grocery store?
Okay, I'm going to name some of these layers. Color. Neon white. This is banner. Patch, right? Yeah. Thin body carriage. And let me see about doing this. Neon white. I don't know. Power. Oh no! Let me rename that. Neon white. Electricity. It's oh, it's not a Sunday. That was whatever. What would you call it? Like power cable? Connection? I'll say neon white connection. And then neon color connection. I want these on separate layers in case I don't like it or I want to move it to, like, if I add something left of the sign. Neon color connection. Why do those letters have the Gaster eye slits? Oh, That's just like the neon cable running around. Because I think neon signs usually have something like that, don't they? Maybe they don't, but it kind of looks all right. Actually, it doesn't. Well, I think one thing is in the connection. These should be. I can make it thinner, but these should be connected because that's how neon signs work. You know, is that it's all like one tube. You can't really have like a floating O. You know. That's alright. Maybe pink isn't the color, but I think for the same reason like this balloon can't be blue, I think, you know, you don't want to have all the colors right next to each other. So we can swap that after we've built more of these buildings over and we know what is like right nearby, you know? Because like if this is pink or purple brick like the sketch is, then this shouldn't be, I think, because I think that's a little too close. It could be blue if nothing else that close to it is blue. I mean, that's kind of like a bit, you know, bit of a turquoise, teal aqua. Let me just try something real quick. Possible. Do I like that better? I don't know. We'll leave it for now. Dude, drawing takes such a long time. I mean, I know I've been like talking and there was a long intro and everything, but like nearly 3 hours and this is what I got? By the way, this, you remember this? Hey, you remember this? This is only like an hour and a half that I was doing this. You know, and you can tell I like scaled down the scope of it by just kind of going with the flow and like when I started, I was imagining like two people dragging the person off, but then I was like, yeah, well, this pose I just sketched, it kind of works for it to be one person. And you know what? Like, I'm not gonna redraw the Santa sketch. I'm just gonna, you know, like I kind of just went wherever I found myself being taken to. But you know, it was only an hour and a half. I'm surprised how much longer this stuff took. Wait until I learn after 3 hours of game dev, all you've done is make one half of an enemy. Oh, you're just talking about like game development being slow? But I guess the thing is there, like, then that's, you know, I don't know. I think one half of an enemy is kind of a more complete product than then again, I don't know. Actually, maybe this kind of looks sick. Hold on, you guys can't see the full. There we go. Maybe this is kind of cool. I mean, again, it needs like the smog and the smoke and everything. Okay, let me put this opacity back up so we can kind of imagine it. I mean, that is kind of cool. That is kind of sick, isn't it? And let me hide the moon because the moon's already back there. You only need one of them. This is actually kind of sick. And then if I and it's a definite improvement. I mean, if you look at this, that's big, you know? I don't know. I'm feeling like maybe we leave it here for today. Oh yeah, Dio, don't worry. I'm not feeling like it's wasted time or anything. I'm just kind of like, wow, that time flew by quickly. Uh, no wonder, like when I was drawing the original one, I was like, whatever, just ship it, out, just get it done. Uh, I wish I knew how long this one was. Anyway, this is kind of sick. Oh, we might leave it here for today. I don't know. I could obviously do more. I'm not like I know I'm tired and I woke up, you know, probably needing more sleep like 10 minutes before the stream was going to start. But by the way, thank God that alarm did wake me up, and apparently I like slept through the others. Uh, but so I could definitely do more. I'm not like that exhausted or anything. But I don't know. I'm kind of feeling like maybe it'll be good to leave this here and come back to it sooner than a year from now. Maybe in like February or March. Uh, I don't know. If I was to add something, what would it be? Would it be another lantern? Or would I start on a building? I don't think I want to do a full building. Is the thing. Like I think this building will probably be one stream all on its own. This one and a lantern maybe, or this one and two lanterns. And then like maybe these two as one stream. I don't know. This might be I might leave this here and export this. This was a fun stream though. I feel like it was there were a lot of jokes, there was a lot of conversation. Uh and I feel like this is a much better product to have as like stage 2. It is kind of fun to have it be multiple stages, you know? Like I think there's no world where I complete the banner fully today, but I think it is kind of fun to have like 5 or 6 versions, to quote a lantern terminology, 5 or 6 versions rather than just like 3. Also, I'm glad I did this stream because now I know like okay, I can do a stream where I draw. Because after my last impression from the last one, I don't know what it was, but I was thinking like I can never do that again. There is no way I can ever do a drawing stream ever again. That was what I was thinking as I left the last one. And like things went fine. Things went fine overall. But I don't know. I think it was just because it was like distracting. It was hard to talk while I was focused on drawing Lantern V5. Yeah, this was cool. Let me hide that little palette. Although actually, I feel like that space is missed. I feel like something should go there, but I guess we can figure that out when we go to the building. Maybe like a little Hold on, I might just add to the sketch real quick. Let's go like orange. I think there should be like maybe like a box coming out here. Like there are these two things, but maybe something that like goes even deeper. And like goes actually like inside. Or maybe like not that. Maybe like just like a box on the side of the building. Hold on. and it can be like an air conditioning box or something. Right now, this is just the sketch layer, so I can get an actual reference to do it well later. But let me just like draw that there should be some kind of box here. And maybe move it a little. That might be a little too deep. Come on, I pressed the switch to button like a bunch of different times. But now that's a little too shallow. There's no winning with this guy. Okay, that'll do. As just like a put something here reminder. Watch me like in a couple of streams working on this, or like a couple of months if I come back to this and oh yeah, February or March, and then I end up doing it in December 2026 again for part 3. And I'm like, what the hell is this? What was I doing? What is this supposed to be? Does anyone have any idea? And the answer is just a shape. Like, this is just a reminder to put something there. Chimmaney. Future Chimmaney, burn this into your brain. This is just a reminder to put something there. It could be anything. Could be anything at all. That's very cool. I will export this. New banner V2. And, I'll set that up to be the new channel banner for the next, hopefully, less than a year. But we've made good progress. You feel like this could be done in like 5 streams? Probably. I mean, again, if it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, 3. Plus like the 2 we've already done. Yeah, I think so. Cool. Well, that's no. We've seen enough. That's the 25th stream. Done. And we met the yearly goal. Not the yearly goal, the this year goal. Which I'm very glad about. I think it was a good year of streams. Peace, y'all. See you around, Jonathan. I'll see you guys again, or at least I'll be here. If you got places to be, that's fine. I'll be here again on New Year's. I'll be doing the New Year's stream, which I have a lot of fun plans for. It'll be good. And I hope there's a video, and maybe even 2 of them, both kind of short, easy ones, before that stream. If all goes well, they'll be up, like, within 24 hours, or at least one of them will, and then hopefully the other soon to follow. Yeah. When will the stream's connection terminate? Yeah, I was going to make that joke when I ended stream. Unfortunately, you got there before I ended stream. Rats. Yeah. Again, good year. We'll talk about it more in the New Year's stream. I think really good year for streams. I mean, can you imagine 2024's or 2023's video schedule with this year's stream schedule? Like, that's impossible unless this is my full-time job. But wouldn't that be so sick? Of, like... I'm saying it's impossible just to make it clear. It's not that I'm choosing not to do that. It's that it's not an option I could choose. But wouldn't it be so sick if it was like, oh yeah, dude, all these streams and like 2023-2024 video upload schedule. These streams were sick, dude. Looking back at this. Looking back at this whole, like, advent calendar we got. These were a lot of fun. In the New Year's poll... Oh, there's going to be a New Year's poll as well, by the way. There'll be a community post about that. As there is every year. Please feel free to contribute to it. And it'll just be like some questions about, oh, favorite video, favorite... You know, I guess we can do like favorite stream this time. Or at least favorite stream series. Because, you know, I'm not going to make you choose between part 1 and 2 of Resident Evil 2. Yeah. This was fun. It was definitely kind of like a bit low key compared to I have such crazy plans for streams, and it's just like it's just a matter of having the opportunity to actually do them. Both to do with like timing of real life and to do with like requirements for setup and requirements for execution. You know, some of the ideas would only work with like a high degree of like viewers interacting with the thing I'm doing, and you know, you would need it to be like, I don't know, 50 people or something, not like 3, 4, 5. So I don't know. Well, you'll see those, but this was fun. I liked doing all these streams. I don't know how many there'll be in 2026. There won't. We'll go into this in the New Year's stream more, but since this is the 25th and final stream of this year, I guess it's worth mentioning some of this stuff. I don't think there's going to be a number goal next year for streams. I think it's just going to be do streams and see where we end up number-wise. But yeah. This was really good. Cool. Thanks for watching. We'll get more channel banner art done another time. But for now, I guess I'm gonna eat food and then try to sleep, but I'm probably too awake for that. So, we'll see. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. And thanks for getting to work building my house, because, you know, I've been meaning to get around to that. And those blueprints, they're looking really promising. See you later.
Connection terminated.